those endless mysteries. Hello and welcome to those endless mysteries. On the menu for today, the Jersey Devil, also known as the Leeds Devil or the Devil of the Leeds. Now, this creature is said to inhabit the Pine Barrens in South Jersey, where it is said to have roamed for years, centuries even, just frightening and terrifying the residents of the local area. The Jersey Devil is often described as having a goat or horse's head with horns and bat-like wings, which are old and leathery. Now, it's said to have small arms, but with clawed hands, with cloven hooves instead of feet, and a long forked tail. This creature is said to be able to move fast as it emits a high-pitched scream. Now, according to popular folklore, this myth originated with a resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. The legend states that Mother Leeds already had 12 children, but when she found out that she was pregnant for the 13th time, this was more than she could bear, and as she cursed the child in frustration, crying out that this child would be the devil himself. It's said back in 1735, Mother Leeds was in labor on a very stormy night, while her friends gathered around her, giving her comfort as the child was born. Now, it's said the child was born normal, but that didn't last long as the child began to change into the creature that we know today as the Jersey Devil. With a goat's head and bat wings, the child also formed a forked tail and cloven hooves. Growling and screaming, it began to beat everyone within the room with its forked tail. And as it became free, it flew up the chimney and headed off deep into the Pine Barrens, where it is said to roam to this very day. In some of the stories of the Jersey Devil, Mother Leeds was even said to even be a witch in some of them, and that the father of the child was said to be the devil himself. Well, I don't know about all that, but I know in some versions of the legend that it's even said that the local clergyman tried to perform an exorcism to get the creature out of the Pine Barrens, with all the attempts failing. But I didn't find any more info on the exorcism than it was just mentioned in an article I read doing the research. Now, in 1909, a rash of sightings in the Pine Barrens and the local area surrounding the Barrens is where a bunch of sightings started to happen. This is when the term Jersey Devil was first used in the local newspapers. Up until then, the creature was called the Leeds Devil or the Devil of the Leeds. The real Mother Leeds is said to be a woman named Deborah Leeds, mainly because of her husband's will. A Japhet Leeds had named his 12 children in his last will, and his wife was named Deborah. And Deborah and Japhet also lived in Lead Point, which is now called Atlantic County, New Jersey, which seems to be the location of the Jersey stories and where they originated. By the late 1700s and early 1800s, the Leeds Devil had become a legendary monster in southern New Jersey area, with most people that lived in the Pine Barrens growing up with this legend, not so much as a legend, but as a fact. So Deborah and Japhet does sound like the likely culprits. They lived in the area in the early 1700s, and we definitely know they had 12 children. So it's not hard to think that they are the original source and the parents of the original New Jersey Devil, or Leeds Devil, as it was known back then. Japhet and Deborah Leeds meets all the right criteria. We know they had 12 children. We also know they lived in the right area and the right time. We know they lived there in 1730s. So that everything fits with this family to be where the myth started from, the New Jersey Devil. So what do you think? Drop me a comment down below and let me know if you believe or disbelieve in the Jersey Devil. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button as well, so you can keep up with all our latest news videos. There have been many sightings and occurrences involving the Jersey Devil over the years. According to one legend, a Commodore stepping Decatur, I hope I pronounced that right, while visiting the Hanover Mill Works to inspect his cannonballs being forged. The Commodore is said to have seen a flying creature. After he sighted this creature, he fired a cannonball directly upon it, while no effects to the creature could be seen. It has been said that the cannonball just seemed to bounce right off of this creature. Then there is the reported sighting by Joseph Bonaparte, the elder brother of the famous Napoleon Bonaparte. Joseph also claimed to have seen the Jersey Devil while hunting on his Bordentown estate in 1820. Now it's said that the Leeds house was very close or within the estate itself. We know that the Leeds had 12 children just from the will that Mr. Leeds left. But the 13th, was there truly a 13th child from then? I have found no reports or anything to say that the child was born. But in that time, if you had a child where it turned into a monster, I guess you wouldn't go around telling many people about it now, would you? I can't say one way or the other. The legend seems to ring true, but I've never seen it and don't expect to. It's a good campfire story, but is it just a story? Well, I don't know. The creature has been described as being big and tall to being only 3 to 4 foot tall. You know, sometimes as I'm doing my research and I see all these descriptions, the taller ones I think maybe could be the Bigfoot that is said to roam the Pine Barrens also. But the smaller 3 foot tall one, that sounds more like the Jersey Devil to me. So let me know what you think down below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can keep up with our latest videos. This UFO sighting comes out of Michigan from November the 23rd of 1953. Now, on the evening of November the 23rd, the Air Defense Command's ground intercept radar out of Sault Ste. Marie, I hope that's pronounced right, Michigan, picked up an unusual and unidentified target near Sul Locks. While having this object on radar, a F-89C Scorpion jet from Kinross Air Force Base was scrambled to investigate the radar return, to verify if there was an object there or if it was some kind of radar false reading. The pilot of the F-89C was First Lieutenant Moncler, and with Second Lieutenant Robert L. Wilson acting as the Scorpion's radar operator. Now, First Lieutenant served during World War II in the U.S. Army. After his service, he went to the University of New Orleans, but re-enlisted in the military at the start of the Korean War in 1950. He enlisted in the U.S. Air Force this time as an officer pilot trainee. The first lieutenant was sent to Connell Air Force Base in Waco, Texas for his pilot training, and then received advanced pilot training at Reese Air Force Base in Lubbock, Texas. And even after that, he got training on the F-89 Scorpion at Tyndall Air Force Base in Panama City, Florida. Now, it's said that Wilson was having a hard time tracking this object on the Scorpion's radar. So the ground radar operators gave the first lieutenant direction towards the unidentified object. The Scorpion's crew finally closed in on the object at around 8,000 feet in altitude. Now the ground control tracked the Scorpion and the object as two defined blimps on their radar screens. They watched as the two blimps grew closer and closer, all the way up until they seemed to merge together. The ground control assumed that the first lieutenant had flown over or under the object. As they watched and waited to see the blimps separate back into two blimps, but the single blimp continued on its way. Now attempts were made to contact the Scorpion and the first lieutenant by radio, but without success. A search and rescue operation by both the United States Air Force and the Royal Canadian Air Force that was quickly mounted, and with another pilot that was sent out on the search. When the pilot stated that he thought he had heard a radio burst by them about 40 minutes after they had went missing. After all of this, they were never seen again. One of the strangest things about this disappearance is that the IFF signal also disappeared when the two merged on the radar screen. And no crash debris has ever been found to this day. There was a hoax back in 2006 with the Great Lakes Dive Company saying that they had found the crash of the Scorpion from 1953, but it turned out not to be true. It was set off by an email from Preston Miller that was sent to a UFO researcher, Francis Ridge, leading to several UFO researchers looking into this email, as well as several journalists, that led to several discoveries that it wasn't the truth and just another hoax. So what do you think happened to the crew and the plane on this report? Drop me a comment down below and let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so you can keep up with all our newest videos. And thanks for watching those endless mysteries.